Spring. Spring may be the most exciting season at the feeder. Migrants such as grosbeaks, bunting, sparrows, and rarely warblers, kinglets, and more will stop by, and nesting birds will come for a quick bite when incubating, feeding chicks, or building a nest. Be ready for large storms that may push hungry migrants out of the sky, and occasional cold snaps, as this could mean lots of birds at your feeders, and a variety of migrants, including ones that rarely visit feeders. In most areas, seed-eating migratory birds like grosbeaks and buntings arrive later in the season, typically in mid-April to May. The amazing free website Birdcast can help you keep track of what migrants are coming through, how many, and see forecast free days into the future that tell you which nights will have large bird movements. Also, keep an eye out for interesting courtship rituals, such as birds like male house finches, chickadees, and cardinals giving food offerings from the feeder to the female. In summary, just make sure to clean your feeders well, add a variety of foods to your selection, and consider placing mulch underneath your feeders to cover birdseed cells from the previous winter. Summer. Summer is the season of fledglings. Resident birds may have already raised their second broods, while late migrants such as great crested flycatchers have only started nesting. Fledglings or young birds with their parents may stop by seed feeders, but mealworms and suet are preferred, particularly by birds that have just fledged a nest. If indigo buntings or other migratory seed eaters breed near your suitable habitat, you may find them visiting your feeders even in the summer. Remember to serve less, as the birds will now be depending more on abundant natural food sources, though your regular resident birds may still come by. Fall. In fall, you may be lucky to have a few of the migrants that stop by in spring in their dull winter plumages, but generally, passage migrants will avoid feeders in fall, unless food is scarce. Birds will start depending on your feeders again more and more, so start to rehang winter feeders and prep for winter. Overwintering migrants such as yellow-rumped warblers, orange-crowned warblers, and kinglets will quickly adjust to your feeders as the cold sets in. Winter. Winter is the busiest feeder season. Make sure to fill the feeders as frequently as needed, with multiple different feeder types to help and support the birds. If a snowstorm or extreme cold front hits, expect congregations of resident birds such as cardinals and finches, large, briefly visiting mixed flocks of blackbirds, secretive birds such as towhees and thrashers, and common birds that rarely visit your feeders, such as large woodpeckers and nuthatches. In areas up north where these birds are known to regularly show up during eruption years, or if you're particularly lucky, Canadian finches such as redpolls, crossbills, and evening grosbeaks, and others such as red-breasted nuthatches may stop by your feeders. Do note that some, like pine skinskins, purple finches, and red-breasted nuthatches, migrate south into most of the lower 48 states regularly, but during eruption years will show up in larger than usual numbers. Lastly, sometimes usually migratory birds such as catbirds and rare western hummingbirds stay up north or winter outside their known ranges, so make sure to keep an eye out for them too. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share, and like.